Hi, welcome to my channel. Today will be my 4 looks using one palette. If you saw my first video, you know that I'll be choosing a palette that is currently in stock and available for purchase. I will also be going back and forth between more affordable palettes and high-end palettes. My last 4 looks with one palette was using something more affordable, and today we're jumping into something high-end. For today's look, I'll be using Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. The original, not the mini, which is this one right here. And this is what the inside looks like. It also comes with a double-sided brush, which I do not use. Now, the original price for this palette is $45. It can be purchased on Ulta.com, Sephora.com, and the Anastasia Beverly Hills or ABH website. I also did some research and found this palette on sale for under $40. I don't know if those prices will be valid when this video goes live, but I thought I would share it with you anyways. For under $40, I found it on Macy's and Nordstrom online. And then for about $30, I found it on beautylish.com. ABH also put out some Vault collections, and the Soft Glam palette is one of the ones that you can get in a Vault collection. And the Vault collection has the palette, and then it also comes with a mini mascara and a mini liquid lipstick. And that's for $49, so $5 more than the original price point of the palette. So if you don't already have it and you want to follow along, you can still get this palette. It is still available to you. Just a quick reminder of what the 4 looks are, because they will be consistent through all of my 4 looks using one palette. Look number 1 will always be one color out the door, you're in a hurry. Look number 2 will always be your everyday look, so something that you can wear to work, something that you can wear for school or to run errands. Look number 3 will be your date night or night out with the girls, something elevated from your everyday look. And look 4 will be your all-out glam look. Because I'm using this palette, a lot of these looks will be perfect for your holiday events, whatever it is your holiday events will look like this year. So keep that in mind when you're creating your looks using this palette. You can definitely create quite a few holiday looks using this palette. Before we get into the look, if you're not already subscribed, I invite you to do so. Also like this video and share it with your friends, and hit that notification bell so you'll be alerted every week of my new uploads. Okay, let's get started. Look 1 will be on this side and look 2 will be on this side, and then I'll wash it all off and put look 3 and look 4 on this side. So as I mentioned, look 1 is your wash of color. You're in a hurry trying to get out the door. I'll be using my Morphe E27 brush, and I decided for this look that I was going to dip into rustic for my all over wash of color, I'm in a hurry type of vibe. And so I'm really going to blend this in the crease and then put it all over my lid and smudge a little bit underneath my lash line. I did already put eyeshadow primer underneath both eyes. I also just realized that I forgot to pin some of these bangs back so you get a better look of what's happening with my eye look. Already starting with mistakes, Krystle. Way to go. Now you can grab another brush. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeeze it and make it flat and dip back into rustic. And then I'm going to put that underneath the lash line right here, because we're doing a quick look. Now you can also leave it like this, just in the crease, but I like to cover any discoloration that I might have on my lid, any veins. So using my finger, I'll dip into rustic and just apply that all over the lid. And just to make sure it's all smoothed out, I'll just go back in and buff it out and call it a day. Now, if you have a little extra time, you can definitely highlight your brow bone. You can put eyeliner in your waterline, but this will be the look for me. To finish off this look, I'm going in with my L'Oreal Bambi Eye Mascara. Let's move on to look number 2 on this eye. I'll be using my ColourPop E15 brush. I'll be dipping first into orange soda, just to buff that in the crease and help transition the rest of the colors. So I like using transition colors. Over here, it's not as blended out as I'd like it to be, but when I'm in a hurry, I still try my best to blend out the one color. If you have a little bit of extra time, you can use a color like this one to blend out these lines a little bit better. If you're in a hurry, this is enough to get out the door. Now, adding on to orange soda using the same brush, I'm dipping into burnt orange. And so I'm doing the same thing, but I'm concentrating a little bit closer into the crease. And so remember, look number 2 is your everyday look. You can use this for work, for school, for running errands, for logging into your Zoom meetings, if you put on makeup for Zoom meetings, because I know when I was working from home all day, I was not putting on any makeup. Okay, and just to add a little bit more for this look, I'm going into my ColourPop E19 and dipping into Sienna, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that color on the outer corner over here. And I'm going to flick it up a little bit, which is what I generally do to kind of make a nice little shape on the side. That was a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be. So we'll go back into my E15 with no additional color and blend that out. And continuing with my ColourPop E19 and dipping into Sienna, I'm going to bring that underneath the lashes. I'll be using my finger and dipping it into the color Glistening, and I will be applying that all over the lid. I was about to point to the side. No, on look number 2. Come on, Krystle. So this color is like a champagne-y gold shimmer. It has no glitter, just a little bit of shimmer, and is a nice little pop. There's also the color Tempera, but I prefer using this little light shimmery goldy champagne color and then going in with Tempera under my brows. Now going back to my ColourPop E15, I have not applied any additional color. I'm just going to blend that out. And now I'll be using my ColourPop L1, and this time I will be dipping into Tempera, and I will just be placing a little bit under my brow bone right here, and a little bit in the inner corner of my eye right here, just to add some extra light. If you have the time to put this in the inner corner of the other eye, then I suggest you do it. It definitely brightens up everything. You can leave it here, or you can put eyeliner on the top or in the waterline, and I will be placing some eyeliner in my waterline. I'll be using the Raw Beauty Kristi X ColourPop eyeliner in the color Woodsy. So this nice rich brown. Just a little bit, and then finishing off with the same L'Oreal Bambi Eye mascara. Okay, there you have look 1 and look 2. For look 1, you can definitely use several of these other colors in the palette for your one wash of color. I used Rustic today, but you could definitely use Sienna, Burnt Orange, Dusty Rose, or one of the shimmery shades, the lighter shimmery shades, even Rose Pink I feel like you could use all over the lid. And for this look, you can go a little bit smokier on the side and then use the lighter shimmery shade. As I mentioned, I used Glistening, but you could also use Fairy or Tempera and mix it up to make it your own. And you can add eyeliner or whatever mascara you feel is comfortable. And then I prefer smoking out the bottom, and if you don't care to smoke out the bottom, then you don't have to. I'm going to go ahead and take the time to excuse my bangs. They're very long, but I'm not going to trim them myself as I usually do because I have an appointment this week. So the video starting in 2021, I should have freshly cut bangs, I think. But let me go wash this off so we can get into look 3 and look 4. And we're back, and I removed my makeup, and I don't think I did such a great job right here, but I'm not about to go redo it. But I do remember that I need to clip my hair back, so let's do that now before I forget. Let's get into our look 3 and look 4. As a reminder, look 3 will be your date night look. Again, I've already applied my eyeshadow primer. I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier, but I am using the Wet and Wild primer. Everything will be linked down below. Now let's get started into our look number 3, which will be in this eye. So starting with my Morphe E27 brush, I'm dipping in to Orange Soda and Burnt Orange and mixing the colors together. And I'll be buffing that all in the crease. I decided for this look to do something a little bit more bronzy. I think it's perfect for a night out or like a date night out. I sometimes get dolled up for date nights at home as well because I think it's important to do that. Now don't get me wrong, there's sometimes that I stay in my pajamas, but sometimes when we order in nice dinner or something, I do still dress up and do my makeup a little bit. This is the look for that. So I've still been dipping into the same 2 colors and just buffing it very well into the crease, making sure it's really blended. Now we are going into Sultry with, I like to use my finger with all of these shimmers in the palette, and then we may deepen it, not we may, and then we'll deepen it up some more. Apply Sultry all over the lid. Just had fallout everywhere. I should have powdered underneath, and you know what, maybe I will do that because it seems like I'm having some fallout. So I'm using my ColourPop translucent powder, and I'm placing that below both eyes. Both eyes will be on the smokier end, so in case anything does fall onto my cheeks, it'll be easy to brush off. So let's get back to what we were doing, which was with my fingertip in Sultry all over the lid. Okay, now dipping into my ColourPop E19 brush, I'm going to dip into Mulberry. Now I don't think that this is completely necessary. You can leave it where it is now, but I'm just going to deepen up this corner or fix this shape a little bit more. But otherwise, the color Sultry is definitely the star of this show. And then going back into, what brush have I been using? This is what happens when I have all these brushes here. It's a Morphe E27, but I don't know which one I was using. I am going to blend all of these shades together. I'm going to dip a little bit more into orange soda and just make sure it's really seamless on this side. And then dip back into Sultry just to make sure any color that I might have blended out is back on. Now I feel like we can sweep off all of this powder. I'm just using a Morphe E3 to smooth that out. I might put blush a little bit later, or more blush a little bit later. I'm going to use my Pixi Endless Silky Eye Pen in Black Noir for my waterline. I have been loving this eyeliner. Let's go into my ColourPop E26. And so I'm going into Mulberry, which was that same color we put in this outer edge. I'm blending out the eyeliner, but also depositing that mulberry color and smoking it out a bit. Now going into my ColourPop E22, I'll be going back into Burnt Soda and then blending it under this mulberry color just to make sure it's blended very nicely. Now going into my ColourPop L1, going to dip into Tempera and put it under my brow bone and then my inner corner. And just add a little bit something. I'm going to dip into Glistening, which was that champagne-y gold color that we had earlier. And I'm also going to lay that on top of Tempera. Going back into the same L'Oreal Bambi Eye Mascara. Now, if you'd like, you can definitely put some lashes on. And I thought about putting lashes, but I just don't have it in me to do it. I finally bought a new one of those eyeliner adhesives for lashes, and I really want to try it, but I also have to film more videos and I think it's easier for me to remove these eyes or remove one of these eyes and carry on the other eye so that I can create another video and not have two different eyes. I had falsies to remove those, and do my eye look would be a bit of a challenge, I feel like. So there you go, look number 3. Date night, virtual holiday party, your tiny little holiday party at home, whatever it is you got going, this could totally work for all of those things. Unless you want to go glam, which is what I tend to do for the holidays. So let's do that. Let's start with our ColourPop E15, and I'm going to start with orange soda because it's the lightest color, and I'm going to put that all over the crease. Now, this is going to be a very dark and sultry look. Sultry, extra sultry. It's gonna be hot, picante, salsa, sultry. Who's allowing me to record myself right now? Stop me at any time. Okay, so still buffing orange soda. We're going to need a lot of wiggle room and color to help blend what I'm about to do. With my ColourPop E19, I'm dipping into Cypress Umber. I'm going to tap off the excess, and then I'm going to shape this very smoky eye that we're about to do. So we'll start on the outer edge and kind of flick it and go all the way in the inner part. And then I'll be buffing it in with another color once I've laid this out. Didn't mean to get those marks up there, but now we're going to have to roll with it and figure out how to fix it. It's a very dark color, not the most blendable. This is the only ABH palette I own, with good reason, because, you know, blending can be tricky. Let's try to make that a little bit more seamless. Let's use my ColourPop E22. I'm going to first dip into Sienna. Actually, let's mix Sienna and Mulberry and tap off the excess, and then try to blend those colors together, that orange soda and that, what was it called, Cypress Umber, and see if we can make that a little bit more seamless. So I've been blending for a very long time. I'm going to blend a little bit more. These holiday looks or these super glam looks don't take 10 minutes. So do the work. I said this in my first video. Blend, 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 and make sure it looks seamless. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're doing this. When you're using dark colors, you're going to have to put in the work. So let's get back into the blend. Okay, so I like what we have going on here, and I'm going to use a clean Morphe E27, but I'm going to put a little bit of orange soda. I want to make sure that those are pretty seamless, and I'm really liking this so far. Okay, now I do need a more precise brush. Let's go into my ColourPop E27, and we're dipping into Noir. Any guess what that color is looking like? Top off the excess. Oh yeah, we're going black. We're going black all over. This is the wrong brush, but we're gonna make it work, or I will choose another one in a minute. I'm gonna choose another one right now. I need something more flat, so I'm going into my ColourPop E18. So the ABH Noir in this palette is one of the darker blacks that I've ever used. So I have that all over the lid, but I'm going back to the original brush that I had picked up for the black color, which was my ColourPop E27. And I'm not putting any additional color from what I had already added on there, but I'm using that to blend that Noir black color into those reddish tones, the mulberry. And now I feel like I need to use my ColourPop E19 to kind of blend that even more. Now, not everyone feels comfortable with a black smoky eye, so you definitely don't have to go this far, but I'm not afraid of black smoky eyes. Oh, I'm in my ColourPop E22 and I'm just blending the black and everything else. I'm going to dip a little bit into the mulberry again and the, was it sienna? Yes, actually I'm gonna do that now and just blend those colors. And then I'm going into my ColourPop E15 and then blending out the top again. I didn't put additional product. You can leave an all black smoky eye, and I like the way that's looking and we can bring it down, but I am going to add a little bit of gold, so for your holiday parties and such. So using my finger, I'm dipping into bronze, and I'm just going to tap a little bit in the center. Just kidding, I'm dipping this everywhere. I want the black to peek through. Oh, yes. Okay, and then let's blend that out a little bit. I have an E27 by Morphe. I'm going into the same eyeliner, which is my Pixie, what is this? Pixie Endless Silky Eye Pen in Black Noir in my waterline. Now I smudge this a little bit on the lash line so that I have extra black to smudge, but I'm going to be placing Noir down there anyways, but it definitely helps to really get that smoky look. Let's use the ColourPop E19, dip into Noir, top off the excess, and then smoke out the black eyeliner. Now to make it cohesive with what we have going on the top, I'll be using my ColourPop E19 and dipping into sienna and mulberry, and then running it underneath Noir. Now this is a very smoky look. So if you're uncomfortable with smoky looks, you can tone it down or do this look, or you know, you do what you're comfortable with. Or play with makeup at home and get better at it and, you know, have fun with it. Okay, I want to go back into bronze because I just feel like I want a little bit more gold sparkle. Should we put it underneath? All right, ColourPop E23. So I'm going to dip very lightly and I'm going to smush it. Now going back into my ColourPop L1 into Tempera under the brow bone, and just like before, using my finger a little bit too, and then Tempera in the inner corner. I'm going to dip into a little bit of Fairy into the inner corner. It's a little bit more goldy. And I'm going to dip into bronze with the same brush, right in those inner corners, and then on the top corner here, to give it a little bit extra gold pop there, just like that. Okay, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm gonna brush off the powder, same Morphe E3 brush. That way I can see where we need to blend, or if we're ready for mascara. Okay, we're gonna blend a little bit more. Let's use this one. It's my ColourPop E15. We've been using it with orange soda, so I wanna blend a little bit on the bottom. And I'd like to add eyeliner, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna leave it like that. Just going with mascara. Should we do eyeliner? The struggle is real. The struggle is real. I'm not going to. L'Oreal Bambi Eyes. If this doesn't scream holiday, I don't know what does. Oh, just got mascara on my lid. Leave it there to dry, ladies. You flick it off after it dries. Getting a real heavy coat in there. I'm not putting on lashes, so don't be afraid of your mascara. Okay, there you have it. Look 3 and look 4. Look 3, your date night, girls night. A little sultry, elevated from your look 2, which is your everyday look. Look 4, glam. Holiday. Vegas. Too old for that. But yes, there you go. I'm really happy with how these looks come out. I should preface that with, when I go into these 4 looks using one palette, I generally don't know what I'm gonna do. I just kind of roll with it. And I'm inspired by the palette and I just go with it. And so this is where we're at. Yay! Again, if you don't want the sultry color and you want it a little lighter, you could use rose pink instead of sultry. If you're afraid of black, you can use the dark brown Cypress Umber, which is what we used in the crease, and kind of tone it down a bit, or use something like sienna, or leave the black and don't put the glitter, or just put glitter, or you make it your own. If this is too glam for your holiday parties, then go with this one. If this is too glam for your holiday parties, then go with look number 2. You decide which look is best for you. I would like to know which palette you would like for me to do next. I have one in mind for my next high-end palette, but I'm trying to figure out which palette I want to use for my next affordable palette. And I'm thinking of going back and forth with affordable, high-end, affordable, high-end. So the next look should be an affordable palette. If you have any affordable palettes in mind that you'd like for me to use, please write them down below. The same goes for high-end palettes. You can also write down those below. If I don't have them, maybe it's something that I will have. Keep in mind that I only use palettes that are readily available. I don't use any palettes that are collaborations. They're not permanent. I want things that are permanent. Keep that in mind for your suggestions, ladies and gents. I want to thank you again so much for joining us for 4 looks using one palette. I'm really loving this series. It's my second one so far, but I'm really having fun with it. It is getting my creative juices flowing and making me excited for the holidays, especially with these looks. So as mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you're not already subscribed, I invite you to subscribe. Ring that notification bell. You'll be notified of my videos every week, and like and share with your friends. I hope you have a happy holidays in whatever fashion you celebrate this December, and I hope that you'll come back and visit. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.